Okay, Ren, are you there, Ren?
Yeah, g'day, John. How are you?
Good, mate, thank you.
Very busy news morning, John.
Very busy, plenty happening. What do you want to talk about?
John, you told me to call you back if ever I had any newsworthy stories for you and your listeners.
Yeah.
John, last week, 10 days ago, actually, John, I made an address alongside Dame Mari Bashir at the Children's Cancer Institute, John, and although this is not headline news, John, it probably should be. We handed over another cheque for just under $190,000, John, to help address the scourge of paediatric brain tumours, John. Not too many people know that these tumours kill more Australian kids than any other illness, and it's very tricky on a day like today when there's a tsunami of news issues out there, that there are many Australian families who have been the direct recipients from the goodness of yourself and your listeners, Mr. Law. So I just wanted to thank you, John. We handed over, as I said, $190,000, which adds to a cheque of a similar amount, John, 11 months ago. So Australian brain tumour families, DIPG families, have received just under $380,000 from private donations, John, and I just wanted to thank you and your listeners, Mr. Laws, and our friends at the Children's Cancer Institute Australia, John.
Okay, weren't you lucky to be with Dame Mari? She's a wonderful, wonderful woman.
It's astounding to be associated with the event. Was the Children's Cancer Institute's 40th anniversary, John, and they were paying tribute to families and parents more so that have achieved significant things in an unheralded field, John.
Yes.
And Dame Mari, she's so eloquent, and if you want to read a resume, folks, have a look at go onto Wikipedia and read Dame Mari Bashir. She's an extraordinary woman, and we're dealing with extraordinary people, John, and there's so much more needs to be done to highlight the plight of Australian brain tumour children, John. Yeah,
well, there was a time when we used to see quite a bit of Dame Mari, because Nick Shahady, her husband, and I were good friends. We used to go away to the bush together, and Mari was always wonderful, always so supportive and always so understanding and terrific with young people. The work she did with young people who were going through very tough times, let me tell you, in their adolescent years, she's been absolutely remarkable.
She has, and she is the proud ambassador for the Children's Cancer Institute of Australia, John.
Yeah.
My organisation is called The Cure Starts Now, and we formed a coalition of like-minded entities, Mr. Laws, to help give the Aussie brain tumour kids, and especially the worst of all these tumours, John, is called DIPG, and it removes about one child every fortnight in Australia.
Oh,
it's the biggest killer of Australian children by illness, and not many people know this, John. And
do you know? Have you got a number to how many kids in Australia suffer from brain tumours at this time?
Roughly 80 a year, Mr. Laws, and the vast majority of these, without being pessimistic, don't have a positive outcome. But we're turning that around thanks to our international collaborative partners and the Children's Cancer Institute of Australia here, John. And John, in a major coup, I'll be making announcements soon that we'll be bringing 120 of the world's leading brain tumour scientists and oncologists and researchers to Australia, to your backyard in Sydney, John, in 2019. So watch this space. We're going ahead. We're ploughing ahead without any government assistance whatsoever. We're just private entities working with special people. And I just wanted to thank you, John, for you're one of the first people I spoke to when we started on this journey after I lost my daughter. And
yeah,
we've come a long way, Mr. Laws, and we're just getting warmed up.
Okay, well, you stay in touch, and if you happen to see Dame Mari, send her my very, very